But one of the biggest storylines was that the Orlando Magic found a new head coach. They hired head coach Jamahl Mosley. They agreed to a 4-year deal, and Jamahl Mosley has 15 years of coaching experience, not head coaching, just coaching experience. 4 years as a developmental coach and assistant with the Nuggets, 4 years in Cleveland, and 7 years in Dallas. And he's gotten a co-sign from Luka. These are some quotes from his press conference from him. When talking about the Magic drawing free agents, he said, it always goes back to what we said before. It goes back to relationships. On Mosley building relationships with his players, he said that I really believe it's about the human first. And then when Jamahl Mosley was asked about the style of play, he says he wants to play with pace, and he wants to play with space, and he wants to play with the pass. So these are a lot of things that Magic fans are excited about right now. And Jamahl Mosley, I think, is going to do a good job. He's in a great position to succeed with the Magic because they have the 5th overall pick and the 8th overall pick. The 8th overall pick has been a cursed pick.
He's picking James Bucknight.
I think
the way he just explained everything, he's picking. But my question, and I like the hire. Let me start by saying that I think this was a great hire. This was probably the best. You get a cosign from Luka, you're
no doubt
top of the class. But I think this was a good hire. They got somebody who's gonna fit. But I'm just curious about what he says and the fit with the team.
In what way?
Because he said, repeat it one more time, just so I know I'm not.
It says play with pace, space, and with the pass.
Space. Isaac can't shoot. Cole can't shoot. Wendell Carter not really.
I wouldn't say Cole can't shoot. He's not a great shooter.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
You made me lose my chance.
Space.
Like I said, Isaac can't shoot. Cole can't shoot. Markelle Fultz can't shoot.
Agreed.
Wendell can't really shoot. Okeke, you're probably going to pick Kuminga. He can't really shoot right now. Bucknight, you're probably going to get an 8. His efficiency wasn't good, but he takes tough shots regardless, so that's why his efficiency is that low. So my question is, what type of space are you talking about? And pace, I can get it. I feel like this team can play fast.
Definitely.
This team can definitely up-tempo, get it going, but the spacing, this team was one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league last year, and Isaac isn't, is coming off an AC, not an AC. He's coming off an injury. I can't remember
ACL. It is ACL.
Oh, okay, he's coming off an ACL injury. There's a lot of guys on this team. Young. This is a very young team, so that's for starters. Getting the coach in the gel with the young core is good, but I'm confused on what these players I don't think fit with the spacing part of what he wants to say, and I think that comes in the draft. I think they're going to address that immediately.
I think given the fact that this is his first real head coaching experience, first head coaching job, and the fact that this team is so young, it's exactly what Orlando needs right now. You get a coach that has been in player development his entire career, and right now Orlando is one big project right now. You want these young guys to develop into players that you could make an actual playoff push. And with the East getting relatively competitive recently with the additions of Miami's that they've made, Trae Young's arrival now in Atlanta, Milwaukee being dominant, obviously the Nets, Boston's young core. It's going to be a conference that you're going to want one of these guys to really break out, and you bring in a head coach that has that development experience in the past, and you give him an opportunity to actually do it his own way and actually start it from the ground up. I love the hire, and the fact that these guys are so young, it just allows him to get to them quicker than as to opposed to, let's say they were 26, 27. You really already know what these players are going to be. These guys are all relatively young. He could take these guys to the next level if there were anyone.
The Magic's top 3-point shooters right now are James Ennis, who I believe is a free agent, and Ignas Brazdeikis, and I know who that is because I am a Knicks fan. Right? He shot 40% from 3 and averaged 11 points per game with Orlando. And they also, Moritz Wagner shot 37% from the 3. He averaged 11, and he played like LeBron for his team in FIBA these past couple of days. Gary Harris, you know what you're getting out of him. Okeke shot 35% from 3. So that's not bad.
He had a good showing towards the end of the season. That was a really good analysis by you on the spacing part. They really don't have that many great shooters.
They don't have great shooters. I think they can play with pace.
They're very athletic, though.
They definitely are athletic, so definitely they could play with some pace, but
I do think that defensively this team will be fine. And like I mentioned, we talked about the Magic a couple episodes ago, and the point guard spot is a mystery to me because I like Markelle Fultz, but I'm not sure if he really.
I think he's a 2 more than anything.
I don't know if he's going to develop
Fultz,
into what we think he could develop into. I'm insanely high on RJ Hampton. I love RJ Hampton's game. I think he should be the guy. But, of course, I think it's probably going to be given to Markelle Fultz because they did sign him to a pretty big contract. But this draft is huge. Number 5, I think they do go with Kuminga. If he's there, because Toronto could draft Kuminga. They could very well draft Kuminga.
Suggs won't go to Orlando.
You don't think Suggs goes to Orlando?
I don't think it makes sense.
It doesn't because they already guard.
But if they're going for best talent,
I was going to say at that point you have to take best available.
I don't think Suggs is that guy where you have to go best available.
I feel like Orlando's not in a position to not go.
But I think if
available.
Green was there or if Cade was there, you go best guy.
Of course, that's obvious.
Those are the only 2 guys you could say,
But people think Suggs could go too.
That's true.
I think Jalen Suggs, regardless of how guard heavy the Magic are, would be the Magic's a legitimate point guard for them.
Yeah.
Cole Anthony, Hampton, Markelle, more 2 guards. Jalen Suggs would be a legitimate point guard who can play on both ends, who could shoot as well, which would be good for them as well. But let's say they don't go Jalen Suggs and they go for another guy. It's probably Scotty, and you probably have him at that 3 spot. And I'm not sure how much I love that in terms of offensive potential. But at 8, I think it's between 2 guys at number 8. I think it's Buck Knight, and I think it's Moody.
100%.
And I flip back and forth on who they should pick because I think Buck Knight is a professional scorer. I think he's a top 3 scorer in this draft.
He's what they need.
Yeah, he's definitely the 2nd or 3rd best scorer in this draft. Cam Thomas has a debate over him. I love Cameron Thomas's game.
He has no debate.
Yes, he does have a debate over him. But James Bucknight reminds me a lot of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's high praise, but I think just the smoothness of his game, his handle, getting to his spots, hitting tough shots, he reminds me a lot of Shai. I don't know if you agree with that.
I see a lot. I see Shai. I see a little bit of Monte. I see a lot of guys. In my opinion, I think he's the best scorer in the draft. The reason why
Green?
Yeah, I think because he has more. He can get to his spots better than Green, and I think he has more versatility in his game than Green. I see Green a lot making tough jump shots, but I've seen Bucknight make tough jump shots and get to the basket, finish strong. He's very quick on the fast break. He's one of the fastest, and he's a tough finisher on the fast break. So James Bucknight on offense, I don't see, aside from efficiency, I don't see any weakness in his game. His handle is smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I do think at 8, if he's there, I don't think they blink on it. I think they'll take him at 8. 5, I think, is the most tricky spot for them because, like you said, Barnes and Kuminga or Suggs could be there. It's tough because, you bring in Barnes, and now you have Barnes and Isaac playing the 3 and 4, and that's like Barnes, whether he develops a jump shot later down the road or not. Right now, I don't think he has it, and Isaac doesn't have a jump shot right now, so that's going to be tough in terms of the spacing. Kuminga's going to be the same thing, but I think, bringing in Barnes would be good because he's another playmaker. And Cole, I won't say he's not a playmaker, but that's not like his primary thing. Same with Markelle Fultz. They're more scoring guards than anything. So you bring in Barnes, somebody who can add a little bit of that defense, what Magic thrive on, and that playmaking, bringing that in. I think that would be good, but I think Bucknight definitely goes 8.
I feel like because of that, I would go Moody because he's that 3-and-D type of player where he can still get you a bucket, but he's still really efficient on the defensive side of the ball. But I have a question. Do you think Bucknight makes it 2-8?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think Golden State?
I think Golden State goes Moody
not going
or
guard again.
Mitchell.
Golden State goes with a player who can impact
Smart.
them right away, who can play defense, who can shoot efficiently from 3. That is Davion Mitchell.
Okay.
That is Moody type of guy.
Okay.
I think Scotty Barnes, if he falls by any chance, that is
Perfect
their guy.
fit, definitely.
That is their guy.
I don't think they go in Bucknight.
Bucknight will definitely be there at 8.
Okay.
If they do, though, that'd be
It would be
crazy,
just because they skipped out on LaMelo last season and kind of bit him in the butt a little.
I think they're going to go for guys who can fit with Steph and Clay, and I think the best guy for that is Mitchell, but I think Moody would probably be the best guy that can just seamlessly just jump in there with Steph and Clay and work well with them because he can start, too, if they need him to start in case somebody get injured.
Okay.
And that's why I disagree with not blinking on Buck Knight because I think Moses Moody is the safest player
Me too.
amongst these lottery picks. I think Moses Moody, he reminds me of an Orlando Magic player right now, Gary Harris, a guy who's going to be steady, who's going to give you 15 points per game, shoot efficient from the field and from the three, be a very good defender. I think Moses Moody is that good.
But if you're in Orlando, do you want a safe guy or do you want a guy who can possibly be an elite scorer in the NBA, which what you need?
That's a tough question because James Bucknight could be an elite scorer or he could be Terrence Ross.
That is true. But they already got Terrence Ross on the team.
For me, I think Moses Moody is like, okay, I know what I'm getting. His floor is Gary Harris at worst, in my opinion.
Right.
His ceiling is unknown. It could be Chris Middleton. It could be an all-star caliber type of player because he's still very young. He's only a freshman.
I'm with you, man.
So he still has that ceiling as well. So I think it is a tough decision at 8. 5 is easy. If Kuminga's there, you could take him. I think even if Suggs is there, you could take him. You know, because
I think Kuminga, Suggs, or Barnes, you take whoever.
Would you be surprised if they went Scotty Barnes and Moody?
No.
I feel
they played together too.
What they need right now is a little bit more of they need an identity. And if they choose that defense is their identity, we've seen it work over in New York where at least they're making a playoff push.
Right.
They need something right now. Right now they don't have much going for them. I feel like you pick one or the other. Either you go all in on offense and you go and you grab Kuminga and you go grab Buck Knight, or you go Barnes and then you take Moody as well.
That's the beauty of it. They play with each other at Montverde. That was the best high school team ever in life. And they're both smart guys, smart high IQ level players. And you don't lose that space with Moody. And both of them play defense at a high level. Mm-hmm. So, I think that's a pretty great draft for them.
Definitely.
In the first round. Yeah, either way. I think Barnes and Moody is a great draft for them. So I don't see what's wrong with that.
What do you think about that?
I think that would be pretty good because I like Scotty Barnes defensively. And I like Moody. I think he is one of the safest picks in this draft. But the Magic are intriguing to me because throughout their history of being an NBA franchise, they got Shaquille O'Neal, and then they got Dwight Howard. They've always lucked on getting the number 1 overall pick and getting an elite center. Who's to say that these next 2 years, the Magic could be very bad? And if they look out and get another awesome center prospect, and this guy right here, Victor Wembanyama.
Magic?
And then the Magic could get Victor as well with whoever they're drafting.
Victor, we're like waiting for him to get into the league.
I think he's going to be awesome.
Oh, my God.
And the Magic have a history of drafting centers at 1.
Do you not see them trying to move up at all in this draft? I feel like 5 and 8 is so valuable.
But I think they would only
to
move
go
up
get
for
a Mobley.
one.
Why not get Mobley?
They don't. I'm not gonna say they don't need him, but I think Magic are in a great position right now because they can get 2 guys, and I think they would only move up if Detroit says yes.
Okay,
we'll give you
just
one.
for the one.
Yeah, if you give us one,
you wouldn't do it for Jalen Green.
No, because I think Buck Knight. I think Buck Knight is just as good as Jalen Green. I think Jalen Green, the hype with him is his athletic ability. I think he may have Bradley Beal's ceiling, but James Bucknight can be that type of scorer. Not like, but he can be that type of scorer, and I think their identity is going to be fine regardless. But I think if Detroit says, if we say we got 5 and 8 for you, you give us one, and Detroit says deal, yeah, you do it, hands down.